Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Physical Deals and Imports. A series where basically we look at some of the best deals and games to be picking up if you're trying to build an awesome physical Nintendo Switch collection. Now just a quick reminder, as I try to do in each video, when we're dealing with the deals section of the video, these are US based prices, meaning that if you're watching from somewhere else in the world, I can't guarantee these games will be available at exactly these prices. However, when we move on to the import section, since we're dealing with Play Asia, these are games that should be available worldwide. Also, just a quick reminder that as you're watching the video, if you want to pick up any of these games, I will be dropping the links down below in the description of the video. Now, some of those links will be affiliate links, so if ever you wanted to pick up these great games and help out the channel at the same time, you can use those links. It would be greatly appreciated. However, as I say each and every time, it is in no way required. The most important thing for me is that you are picking up these great games. So now with all that stuff out of the way, let's jump into our deals in imports for this week. And do remember that if you are liking the content, hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you aren't already. Now we're going to start today with the LEGO games that are currently, most of them, all on sale. However, value-wise, this is one of my favorite picks, which is the LEGO Harry Potter series that is currently $19.99. By the way, currently all the games are available on discount at GameStop. However, Amazon is matching some of them. Now, first of all, let's address the elephant in the room. If you pick these up digitally on the eShop, yes, they do get a lot cheaper than this. However, if you have kids and multiple Switches, and you don't want to deal with who can play which game at what time, having a physical edition of these games is great because you pop it into your Switch and anyone can play it at any time. And as I said, if you're looking for a physical edition, I do find that value-wise, although it's not my personal favorite, the Harry Potter collection is great because you're getting actually years 1 through 7 all in one pack for only $20. And also on the digital eShop, this one only comes out down to about $10, so the difference is quite minor for picking up a great physical copy of the game. As I said earlier, currently pretty much all the LEGO games are on sale. However, the price differences with the digital versions are a little higher for the other ones. Still, in my book, at $20, if you're trying to build a physical game collection, this is a great one to add in. Now, if we move on to our next deal for today, we have Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning that is down to $19.99. And once again, this deal is available at GameStop. Now, once again, this is not the lowest this game has ever hit because I know for a couple of days at one point it actually hit $14.99, but still I think that at $20 you are getting an excellent game for the price that you're paying. Now, this is an action RPG that is set in the Dungeons & Dragons universe, and I've got to say, if you're into Western style action RPGs, this is really a very good one on the Nintendo Switch. On top of it, the port has been done very, very well. And lastly, if we're looking at the amount of content, since you right away get all the original DLC included in this game right off the bat, it is actually quite amazing how many hours you can put into this game for only $20. This is definitely one that I would be picking up for my physical collection as soon as it's around this price point. Now, the next great deal I want to take a look at is actually for the Subnautica double pack that is currently $29.99. Now, I'm showing you Amazon here. However, it's also available at GameStop, Target, and Walmart. Now, if you've never played the Subnautica series, these are basically open world survival games set on a planet where pretty much everything is ocean. When you start out the game, you'll have zero resources, barely alive, and you'll have to scavenge for food, water, and basically everything you need to build up shelter. However, in this game you're aided by very advanced technology, so you'll be rapidly even building things like submarines. But overall, once again, at $30, getting both these games included is actually, once again, quite amazing. And both performance-wise and visually, this is actually one of the most stunning ports to the Switch yet again. And I definitely say that if you want to pick up this collection at $30, you are getting way more than your money's worth. Now we're at our last deal for today before we jump over to the imports, and that is going to be on the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection that is currently only $18.99 at Walmart. Now this I find is a game that is becoming harder and harder to find physically, so if you were waiting around to pick it up, I would move so quickly. especially because Capcom is about to release the next iteration of their fighting game collections, and this one might go out of print. But value-wise, at $20, you are getting 12 Street Fighter games at this price, ranging from the original Street Fighter all the way to the different versions of Street Fighter 2 and ending all the way at Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Not to mention most of the Alpha series also available in the collection. Basically, if you're a Street Fighter fan and you have a Nintendo Switch, this is like the must-have collection for that gaming system. And I would even say that if you're not a fighting game fan, but you want to try it out and get into it, this is pretty much the perfect collection, and at only $20, it's a definite no-brainer. And now we're moving over to the imports, and although I didn't mention it earlier, all these games will have English included. And today, we're actually going to be taking a look at 3 different games that I really think a lot of people are going to want to pre-order, because at least for the moment, physical versions have not been announced for North America. And the first one of these you already see on the screen, it's the Klonoa Phantasy Reverie series that will be selling for $43.99, and for the moment has versions in Japan and Europe, but unfortunately none announced for North America. Now, the Klonoa series coming to the Nintendo Switch is definitely one of my hype moments of the last Nintendo Direct, and when I was watching that, I couldn't believe my eyes and ears that we were gonna get these games on the system. Now, if you're a fan of 2D/3D platformers, the Klonoa series is definitely one you're going to want to check out. And at $45, since you're getting both games included, it's actually, in my opinion, a pretty decent deal. Now, it'll be the same for pretty much all 3 of these games today, but this is a game that I pre-ordered myself, and I'm definitely looking forward to it finally releasing this summer. Now, our next one is a little bit of a wild card, and I can't guarantee if the game is going to be a great pickup or not, but nonetheless, I took a risk and I pre-ordered it, and that is Chocobo GP, that is currently pre-orderable for $54.99. Now, obviously, kart racing games come in all shapes and form. Some are great, some are unfortunately disappointing. But personally, I'm a huge fan of the great ones like Mario Kart, like Crash Team Racing, and even Team Sonic Racing. So having a new one come out in the form of Chocobo GP using Square Enix properties is definitely something I'm going to be taking a very hard and long look at. However, as I said earlier, this one is a little bit of a wild card because it could go in either directions. So obviously, if you're on the fence and you don't want to spend the money and then be disappointed, you can wait around for reviews of this one. However, once again, for the moment, a physical edition has not been announced for North America, and I don't want any stock to run out, so I'm going to be pre-ordering this one as soon as possible. And by the way, time is running out because the pre-orders are expected to ship on March 10th. Now, the last import I want to cover today is Pac-Man Museum Plus that is now also available for pre-order on PlayAsia. It is a fairly cheaper title coming in at $21.99 and should be shipping at the end of May. Now, if you're a huge fan of Pac-Man like myself who grew up playing it in the arcades, well, you know what? This is a collection that you just have to have. If I run through just some of the great Pac-Man games you're getting in this collection, you have the original Pac-Man, you have Super Pac-Man, you even have Pac-Land and Pac-Mania, you have different versions of the Pac-Man arrangement, you have Pac-and-Roll Remix, and even Pac-Man Battle Royale. Now, for many of these titles, if you own a Nintendo Switch, it is the first time they're going to be available on the system. So personally, at only $21.99, this collection was another no-brainer for me to pre-order, and on top of it, with it coming out at the end of the month of May, I am super hyped to be receiving this game in the mail. This is, in the end, just the ultimate Pac-Man collection. So there we have it, we're pretty much at the end of our physical deals and imports for this week. Now, I want to hear from all of you. Let me know what games you're picking up in the comments down below. And don't forget that if you want to pick up these great games and help out the channel, you can always use the affiliate links down below. And on the way out, if you did like the content, consider hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel if you aren't already, and hitting that notification bell so you know when all my new content comes out. And as usual, I hope I'll see you in my next video.